Hi, I'm Graeme FrazierBell, one of the creators and inventors of Accentuate and Frenetic, and really the initiator of Accentuate Games, together with my sister Fiona and my wife Daphne. So we actually came to Toy Fair about 5 years ago. So this is our fifth anniversary. We started in a place they call the greenhouse. So it's really these tiny little spaces. It's a lot cheaper than getting a kind of big stand, but it was our first taster of what it was like to be at Toy Fair. And I think from those initial seedlings, we've now come to what is a 7-meter long stand. Instead of just one small game that's being launched, we've got 3 games out. But it all really started at Toy Fair. And actually, we went on from Toy Fair in 2015. And then we appeared on Dragon's Den in July 2015. So things kind of snowballed from appearing at Toy Fair to having Peter Jones become an investor with us, and he's actually still an investor with us today. And he's actually, I think Accentuate Games is his largest or most successful games investment to date.
Struggle for what to say. I can edit this wee bit. So I would literally take the opportunity now to talk about specifically your games, either your favourite one or give an overview of the 3 of them. Just your pace and just give yourself a pause, but we'll do a wee quick countdown again. Give us a pause. So I'll introduce you to my games. Because that was beautiful. That was very natural.
Mine's very good.
Well, even when we shook hands upstairs, you walked away and I went, that's a guy who is comfortable talking to anyone. Because the eyes were solid, they were locked on, there was full engagement, body face, and I thought, yeah, that's a guy, you could trust that guy with your wallet, and your money would still be one, you could buy.
Let's give it a try.
For an Irishman, that's no money in my wallet. The wife knew it was coming, so, so we'll go again in 5, 4, 3.
So our first game is actually Accentuate. So it's the hilarious Guess the Accent game. And everybody's got a game in them. And it actually came from personal experience of traveling around the world and living in different places. And actually mucking around over dinner at my house with my sister, who's atrocious at accents. And actually that's where the idea came from. That was where it was germinated. Just mucking around and realizing we had a huge laugh. Just asking her to repeat certain quotes in different accents. Of course, every accent she does is Indian. So we created some gameplay to it, and actually immediately we got some robust gameplay to it, and then secured IP in the EU 28 and the USA. The initial game was about half the size, and this is a very good example of why it's so important to do lots and lots of playtesting with people you have no affiliation, no friendship, no relationship with. And that's one of the things we probably failed to begin with, because we put out a game that perhaps today we'd say was not as robust as it needed to be. So this is actually the latest version, the 4th edition. And we actually feel very proud about this now. And we've done probably, I would say, 160 days of demonstrations at companies, retailers like John Lewis. And I think over that 4-year period, we've probably played the game with about 25,000 people. And watching their reaction and watching what they're doing on the shelf, how they're picking up a game, and what they're doing then, we catch with this, but we sell on the reverse. And it took us quite a while to get that right. So making it as easy as possible for somebody to understand what this is about within 15 to 20 seconds. And we think we've got that down now. And this is going to be Accentuate moving forward. Our second game actually came last year. So we wanted to create a word search game, but as a lapsed chemist or a former scientist, I mean, how on earth do I create a word search game? So it's funny, but your school life stays with you all your life. I thought back to my old chemistry days, and then you think about, well, there's 118 element symbols making up the periodic table. How many words can you make from that? So it's actually more than 10,000 words that we can create. So it's, again, putting a robust gameplay to a fairly simple idea, and then a scoring mechanism. How do you score it? Well, let's use the atomic number of the element symbols that we're using. So like BANANA equals banana, and it's 78 points. Okay, let's create the gameplay. And that's effectively what we did. So we launched this again last year at Toy Fair. And John Lewis liked it so much they actually took an exclusive on it until September last year. And now it's on open release and doing well, and we hope it's going to expand, and it's scalable as well. It could be used in the States and other English-speaking countries. So we won the Silver Medal Award for the top board game in the board game category in 2018 with the Independent Toy Shop Award. So do we stop there? Really for us, board game development is not every year we've got to come out with a new board game. That's kind of time pacing. And really what we're about is event pacing. The event is when we come up with the next good idea for a game, that's when we'll launch the next game. Not because we've got to come up with a game this year. It may be another 2, maybe 3 years. Maybe we don't come up with another game because we're exhausted on ideas. But actually, there's a great pool of ideas out there. And in the same way that we think everybody's got a game in them, I think everybody's got a book in them as well. And if we just look at different experiences people have got and different ideas, we actually found a young man that's doing a degree at Manchester University called Eugene Lim, who had a great game concept, but we needed to work on the design. So we discussed with him, as we discussed with many companies around the world, and actually really liked his gameplay. We had it tested, the gameplay was pretty robust, but the design wasn't quite there. So we've come up with this new game called Rats to Riches, which is a strategy game for scheming rats. So instead of earning money, they earn what's called swindle. So the swindle coins, because that's the currency in the sewer. So lots of different components. We've got little gangster components, there's sabotage, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the game that creates strategy towards winning those 100 points. And again, as you can see, this is very much a prototype, but at every toy fair, we bring those prototypes and we get multiple feedback from the retailers, from distributors, from designers, from other people that really help us kind of hybridize and morph this design into something that hopefully is going to sit on a shelf and look attractive and make interesting for a whole bunch of people to play. So in effect, we now have the party game Accentuate, the word game Frenetic, and hopefully this year, the strategy game Rats to Riches.